The AGG theme song is brought to you today by someone who wishes to remain anonymous.
Adventure Game Geek, solving riddles big and small. Adventure Game Geek, you can suck his hairy balls. Every day a new quest from north, south, east, and west. Point and click to find the answer that we seek. Adventure Game Geek.
Happy Halloween, fellow adventurers! It's that time of year again, which means it's time for some horror. Some horror soft. This is Waxworks from 1992, the last of the horror soft games following Personal Nightmare, Elvira Mistress of the Dark, and Elvira 2 The Jaws of Cerberus. It's classified as a dungeon crawl RPG, but it also has point and click elements, otherwise I probably wouldn't be covering it on this channel. I'm the Adventure Game Geek, not the dungeon crawling geek. After the credits, we're instantly dumped outside the Waxworks, and the door is opened by a butler who we're going to call Lurch, who asks for our ticket. Ticket? What ticket?
Well, Adventure Game Geek, if you were a real adventurer like me, then you'd have the physical big box copy of this game that explains all of that and more. Let's open this up and see what's inside. Well, for one thing here, we got this handy code wheel that's basically your ticket to adventure. So let's see, what do you got here? You have Egypt, a bird, banshee, and bats. So we just turn these little wheels here. Banshee, Egypt, bats, and see right here it says $12.75. That's your ticket right there.
Cheers, Stu. Sorry, this ticket's only for one. Just like that time we met up in London and they wouldn't let you in the Sherlock Holmes Museum. Once inside the Waxworks, Lurch gives us a crystal ball through which your uncle talks to you about the family curse, and how you're the only one who can break it, blah blah blah. Then he mentions an important letter we were supposed to have received. Letter? What letter? What is he on about?
Once again, Geek, you're tripped up by not having the big box copy of the game, because the game clearly comes with this Curse of the Twins booklet, including Uncle Boris's letter. And if you open that up, you can see, this is the letter basically. It says, I don't know what, it says, "My dear sister's child, blah, 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 blah. You must know that your twin brother is alive. Yes, all these years he has dwelt in the tunnels beneath Vista Forge, emerging from his dark lair only at night. He was preordained for birth to come under the curse of the ancient witch Ixoda, and that day he disappeared. He was taken by the forces of evil. Now he belongs to the dark side and does the bidding of Beelzebub. You must neither hate nor blame him, for his will is not his own. It's not too late to save him, and something else, blah, blah, blah." So there you have it. It's right here.
Thanks, Stu. That explains everything. There's 4 waxworks we can enter. An Egyptian pyramid, a zombie-infested graveyard, an abandoned mine shaft, and Victorian London. We can play the stages in any order, but the graveyard is the best introduction, so let's go there first. Ah, looks like someone's been doing some gardening on the gardener. Get used to the gore, cause we'll be seeing a lot more of it. I guess the gardener won't be needing this sickle anymore, and it's not long before we're using it to defend ourselves from marauding zombies. The best strategy here is to chop their arms off so they can't attack you, then cut off their head, after you've had a good laugh watching them flail their bloody stumps around. Combat gives you experience points and levels, though these stats don't seem to play such an important part in the game. Keep an eye on your hit points though, because you know what happens when it reaches 0. Using your psychic energy, you can consult your uncle in the crystal ball for help, and he'll give you hints or offer to heal you if you can find a human heart. Oh, how convenient! A heart waiting to be picked up just when we need it. Inside one of the nearby tombs, there's 4 coffins. Make sure you choose the right one or it might just be the death of you. The other coffins are already occupied, and we can actually talk to the corpses who seem to mistake us for someone else.
Who can you be then, evil one? Who is this that looks like the evil one, sounds like the evil one, and even smells like the evil one?
Alright, you got me. I'm the evil one. Prepare to die. Oh. Sorry, never mind. You're already dead. This corpse goes on about the necromancer Vladimir and how we're the only one who can lift the curse on our family, blah blah blah. He says his name is Druek, who our uncle told us about. Druek? I don't remember him at all.
Alright, AGG, once again I have to bail you out apparently. It's right here again in the Curse of the Twins. See, it says here some crazy story about a witch who cursed them or something. 2,000 years ago, one of your Egyptian ancestors had twin boys. One was good, but the other was cursed by an evil pharaoh and turned into a monster. And then it says, once more in every generation in which your family bears twins, one shall belong to Beelzebub. And then soon afterwards, the farmer's wife gave birth to twin sons. One, Druek, grew up to be a decent, hardworking farmer, but the other, Vladimir, was corrupt, and blah, 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 and he became Vlad the Impaler. So that's who Druek is. It's very obvious if you're a real adventure gamer like myself.
Real adventure gamer, huh? I bet you haven't even played this game, Stu. With the help of our uncle, we can defeat Vladimir and get transported back to the Waxworks, where Lurch helps us in the right direction. Hey, no need to push, I'm going! Next, let's go back in time to ancient Egypt, where we're sealed up inside a dungeon just like in Eye of the Beholder. The architect who designed this pyramid is hanging out in the next room. There is a gruesome knife wound in his back. Perhaps he is dead. Let's take a closer look. Yep, pretty sure he's dead. Guess he won't be needing this dagger then. Here's where the phrase "pick up anything that isn't nailed down" takes on a whole new meaning, as we grab all the jars, jugs, and baskets we can get our hands on. That dagger soon comes in handy when we have to fight our way past these swordsmen without getting our head cut off. Combat in Waxworks is similar to Dragon Lore, as there's not much strategy involved, just keep clicking until your opponent goes down. Ah, some water, a perfect place to fill up one of our many pots. Maybe not such a perfect place after all. These gory death screens are definitely the main selling point of the game. I remember seeing them in computer magazines as a kid and thinking how badass they looked. The gameplay though is a different story. I don't mind having some useless junk in my inventory, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, we're carrying around a whole pottery shop here. Watch out for these tuning forks though, as we'll need them to break some glass blocking our way. Other obstacles include this pentagram puzzle that we have to solve before the hourglass runs out. I think we got the point. Dodging rolling boulders. Anyone for a game of squash? And avoiding tripwires. We're not dead, that's just a flesh wound.
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look! It's just a flesh wound.
Anyway, you get the idea. This is a pyramid of death, and only by solving the puzzles can we reach the top and defeat the evil twin of this time period. The next waxwork we'll enter is the mine, and judging by this display, things are not going so well for the mine workers. The mines have been overrun with mutant plant monsters that will infect you to death if you can't defend yourself. Fortunately, there's an injured man lying around who we can steal a screwdriver from. You could say they got screwed. We find a few survivors in various stages of mutation. There's a soldier who needs us to fetch quest various items to blow up the mine, and a doctor who can heal the injured man we stole the screwdriver from. Be careful what order you choose these people though, as I got into an unwinnable state by taking the doctor first, who reminds me of Ripley from Aliens. You can also get into an unwinnable state by stopping this minecart in the wrong place so that it blocks the passageway. In this situation, you might as well crush yourself to death under the cart and reload. Never forget the golden rule of adventure gaming. Save early, save often. The essential weapon to have here is not a screwdriver, but a chemical sprayer that takes care of all the hostile plant life. We'll need something special for this sucker, which I won't reveal, but there's a subtle hint in the description. The Doctor manages to revive this guy, who starts quoting Spock from Star Trek.
Logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one.
He also tells us how to deal with the mutants in the mine. Thanks, but we could have used that advice earlier. In the end, we either escape the mine or get crushed. Okay, that was tough. Let's take a moment to catch our breath. Bloody hell, Lurch, we weren't ready yet. So here we are, thrust back into Victorian England in the time when Jack the Ripper was on the loose. This is one of his victims, and if we're not quick about it, we'll get mistaken for the Ripper and hung by the noose. These English bobbies pursue us relentlessly through the dark city streets, and we can't rest until we've found safety. We can't even stop in the pub for a quick pint. Be careful not to save your game right before you get caught, or you'll be stuck in an endless death loop. Oh look, some friendly locals. Not so friendly after all. Eventually, we managed to get inside one of the buildings, and here's where we start filling up our inventory just like in the pyramid, except this time it's taken to even more extremes. We can take all the tools at the cobbler's, all the clothes at the tailor's, all the medical supplies at the pharmacist, and all the toys in the toy shop. If you enjoy picking up a plethora of items, most of which you'll never use, this game is for you. We do need a disguise though, so we can finally enter the pub. According to the barman, the only entertainment to be found here is hiring a lady of the night from the local pimp. And no, we can't pick up these ladies and put them in our inventory, but there's one lady in particular we need to find to uncover the Ripper and face him in mortal combat.
Fatality.
Once we've defeated the evil twins in all 4 Waxworks, it's time to face the witch Ixona who put the curse on your family in the first place. In his review of Waxworks, the Retro Gambler gives a great summary of the whole backstory, for those not fortunate enough to be blessed with the original box. For me, Waxworks was honestly a mostly tedious and frustrating experience, and besides the gore-tastic death screens, I don't think there's much to recommend it. The music is pretty atmospheric, but the Amiga soundtrack is far superior to the DOS version, which sounds like nails on a chalkboard. There's also a recent survival horror remake called Waxworks Curse of the Ancestors, which looks pretty faithful to the original except without those infamous death screens. So, what are Stu's thoughts on the game?
What do I think of the game? Well, you know what, I think that Accolade and Horrorsoft put together a really interesting game here. It's sort of horrorful and it has puzzles and, who am I kidding? I haven't actually played the game. I talk about being such a great adventure gamer because I got this collection of stuff, but you probably played more games than I have, AdventureGameGeek. I'm just a fraud. I don't know why I'm even doing on this video. I'm sorry, man. I apologize. Listen, keep up the good work and keep doing these videos.
Oh, that's okay, Stu. You're not a fraud. I really appreciate you sharing the secrets of the big box. And if you ever feel like giving me your copy of Mad Dog Williams in the Dungeons of Duridian, just let me know. Your donation will be most gratefully received. Looks like someone's been doing some gardening on the... Looks like someone's been doing the god. Looks like someone's been doing the gardening on the garden.